The internet is furious after James Charles was invited to this year's Grammy Awards. With everything else happening at the Grammys, not too many people really took notice of James Charles being in attendance until days later. On Sunday, the controversial influencer appeared at the awards ceremony, which stirred up a lot of anger among fans online, with many wondering why someone not involved at all with the music industry was even invited in the first place, especially someone with such a terrible reputation. It's not like we're talking about James Charles from 2018. This is James Charles post being labeled a predator and still being invited to a Hollywood award show. Whoever sent out those invites clearly did not do their research. One person wrote on Twitter, "James Charles being at the Grammys this year tells me everything I need to know about their invitations," with a second critic adding, "I feel like if James Charles can be on the Grammys red carpet, so can I." And if you're sitting there wondering why people are so upset, allow me to refresh your memory. You see, back in May of 2019, YouTuber Tati Westbrook put out a 40-minute video where she exposed James Charles for attempting to trick straight men into being interested in him. Since that time, James has also been caught leaving more than a few suggestive comments on accounts of people that he seems to be attracted to. Then allegations started coming forward from a 16-year-old boy on TikTok. In several videos that have since been deleted from the accuser's profile, he quickly shows screenshots of different Snapchats that James had sent to him. Def Noodles, however, was able to get a hold of the clips, and in a tweet he wrote, "Who could have seen that coming? James Charles exposed for allegedly messaging 15-year-old. When James notices that boy shared one of their messages on his story, James snaps, accuses the boy of lying about his age, then blocks him. Boy alleges he never lied about his age." James was then met with massive social media backlash, and so he put out a big response denying these allegations. In his post he writes, "There's a video going around about me on TikTok and Twitter of a guy calling me a groomer, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I have groomed this person is completely false. Last week I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me, and added him on Snapchat. The next morning I woke up to several snaps from this person being excited. I added him back saying he loved me and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. I asked how old he was right away, and he told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could be potentially great, I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport. It's now clear based on the video he uploaded he was taking photos of me with another device and had an ulterior motive from the beginning. Later in the day he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologized for flirting, but he insisted on continue talking, saying it could be our little secret. He's a fan of mine and would never tell anyone. I told him I wasn't okay with this, he started getting upset, and at this point I unfriended him. We haven't spoken since. I'm not victim blaming him or victimizing myself either, simply sharing what happened, and what happened was not okay. After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with anyone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats. Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I now will ask to see the ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with." Now right away as I was reading the part where he started exposing this kid for trying to cover it up, that to me is victim blaming. I mean, he can follow it up by saying that it's not, but that doesn't make it so. To me, James is the adult in this situation, and an adult that operates from a position of power, especially when speaking to his own fans. Now, James Charles is still a human being that deserves to find love and affection, but he definitely should not be finding that through his Instagram DMs. Also, I found it odd that he sort of promised the public that he would start checking the IDs of people that he's romantically interested in. To me, that's a huge red flag. Like, you are so attracted to younger looking people and gotten yourself in so much trouble for hitting on minors that you have to openly say, "Okay guys, now I'm gonna start checking IDs." It just seems strange, you know? Another person commented on James being invited to the Grammys and said, "How is James Charles everywhere other than prison?" Meanwhile, others decided to crack jokes at the situation and tweeted things like, "James Charles attending 64th Grammys? So he finally chose a number above 18. I'd love to hear your thoughts on all this stuff because that's all the time we have for today. So stay classy, and I'll see you in the next one.